Hello everyone, this is my discussion post for Module 5, How much should you reveal about yourself as a communication slash media professional? And the first question is, what are your own boundaries for sharing on social media? And so when I when it when I use social media, I use anonymous accounts a lot of the time, or at least non super personal accounts, like not accounts dedicated to my name, like Ryan Manzi. Like I have a YouTube channel called Glade, which is like an online persona. So when I create a social media account, I try not to make it super personal towards myself. I try not to overshare a lot right off the get-go. And this was actually a tip in when does sharing become oversharing, in that article. It mentioned that oversharing can sometimes create great communities online to really bond together, especially on sensitive subjects. But sometimes it can be a little bit hard or too personal to share some of that information. So that's when anonymous accounts can be really great. And also, I feel like depending on the topic, you don't have to reveal all your information to still get your point across and build a great community online for even some sensitive topics. Also, though, for other boundaries, I try to look at the ethics behind it, and whenever I post something, I try to take into account everyone who might be affected by what I post, and if what I'm sharing is um helping people more than it's hurting them, and it's important or okay to share that information. So those are my boundaries. But how has sharing evolved since you first started using social media? When I was little, I had like an Instagram account, I think like two, and I would just post like most random stuff, just like me hanging out with friends or what I was doing that day, this goofy, cringy posts. And it's because I thought back then the only people who would see it was my five friends who were following me. But now, with the evolution of social media and sites like TikTok, you can post a video about anything and it can blow up. Like the most random stuff that you think no one will care about can get millions, thousands of views. And so that's how I think social media has evolved is um I think it's a lot easier for anyone to this blow up nowadays on social media. And that's why I'm a little more cautious with what I post online now, or like I said before, how much I share. Like maybe I'll make an account that's not necessarily anonymous, but not necessarily an account about me. So I'm definitely less restricted as I was when I was a kid. Um, but last question, what are potential pitfalls of sharing as a journalist or professional communicator? In the journalist article, it mentioned um, it mentioned that sometimes trying to balance your personal social media presence with your business social media or your journalist social media presence can be a real burden for a journalist. And I really related to that in the article, especially since I've done some like personal branding online with like gaming YouTube channels or streams. And when you're dealing with balancing your work with this, the initial love you had for social media can feel like a chore sometimes or a burden, especially dealing with maybe hateful or like troll comments too. Um, Social media can really be a drag when you drag like it's a drag when you drag the business part into it as well. It's a very tough balance, and I really related to that in the article as well. But that is overall my Module 5 discussion. Leave your comments if you have any, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you.